What is going on, guys? DanCBearded here, the trusted teacher for all things beard related. And today we're going to talk about a beard style or a beard formation known as the French fork, aka the beard split or the splitting beard. Pretty simple. Essentially, down the middle of a longer beard, it starts to split and goes into two pointed ends. Now, the first thing that I want to let you guys know is this is 100% naturally occurring. It can happen to thick, full, healthy beards. It can happen to thin, patchy beards. It can happen to any type of beard. It is almost entirely based on genetics and your growth pattern. Now, there are some things that you could do to achieve that style, or maybe you did by accident and you have the style as a result, and we'll go over them. Something that I thought is pretty interesting with the French fork is it actually started with the Persians. I teach ancient world history. I teach about the Greco-Persian wars. I teach about the war generals and the leaders of Persia that had these styles of beards. So it's pretty cool for me to bring it to the channel after stuff that I get to talk about with my students. So stay tuned if you want to learn how to style it, how to embrace it, and really any information at all. And please feel free, always leave questions. I will try my absolute best to get back to you in a prompt time and get that engagement going with you guys. So thank you guys for checking it out. Let's go learn some stuff about French forks. First piece of advice I want to give you guys. If you have a naturally occurring French fork style of beard and you don't mind it, rock it, own it, be proud of that bad boy. I do not personally like a French fork on myself. It drives me crazy. But if I see a guy that is rocking it with swagger and confidence, that double pointed, edged, really strong beard, I love it. I always make sure I give them props for that. And if you look back throughout history, we have tons of politicians, tons of war generals, and even celebrities that have rocked a French fork and have been beloved for it and absolutely kill with it. Because any style beard is better than no beard. Keep that in mind. So if you don't mind it, own it. Secondly, if you do have that French fork and you dislike it, there's one thing I want you to check for, and that is your neckline. Your neckline can aid giving you a French fork even when it's not naturally supposed to be there. Now, what you want to do is check how low your neckline is going, and are you trimming it or shaving it too high? The lower your neckline goes, the more depth and support your beard is going to receive. When it has that depth and support, it's more likely to bind and stay together and not allowing it to fork. Now, some of you will have a neckline that you can't control. A lot of people have this inverted V that goes up above their Adam's apple and is completely bald around that Adam's apple. And obviously that's going to lead to that fork, and that's just genetics. There's nothing you can do about that. But even someone like myself, I have a really low neckline. Mine's below my Adam's apple and it's really nice and straight. I still get a French fork because a lot of the French fork growth patterns happen from the front hairs of the beard, not just underneath. But that is one thing to check for. If you started your bearded journey by shaving too high up, you had a chin beard, or you just simply trimmed it up too high, that can aid that. So check that one out. Now, if you checked it, it's genetics, there's nothing you can do about it. We do have some things that you can do to try and get rid of that French fork style. The first two are very easy fixes, but they're kind of compromising. The first one is trim above the fork. Wherever your beard forks at, it's likely going to be that same length always, and it's not going to change over time. All you need to do is trim above it, and you'll have a nice full beard with no splitting. But that's a compromise. Some of you want to grow your beard out, and that won't be a part of the plan. Second thing is, if you want to grow your beard out and keep it going and you still have that fork, look to get a clip or a tie at the end of your beard. What that will do is bring your beard down to a nice singular point, and it won't be splitting, it won't be thin at the end. There's guys that enter even world championships for beards that have clips and ties at the bottom. But again, that's kind of compromising because not everybody wants to wear a clip or tie at the bottom of their beard. So those are two options. Now let me give you the styling options that can help. It may not work for everybody, but it works for me, and it works for a lot of guys that I've talked to and read about that have French forks. Now, what I do is I take heat and I take the wide teeth when I'm going down. And the key thing is I'm going to angle that heat and I'm going to angle my direction towards the center. I'm not going to comb straight down towards the ground. I'm going to comb more down towards a ponytail. Heat plus tension equals direction, but you get to decide that direction. If I wanted my beard to go up and out, I could do that with direction and it would stay. The same goes for the French fork. So step one is heat, wide teeth, angling down towards the ponytail side. Second thing is cold shot plus fine teeth going down towards the ponytail. When you're getting that heat in the wide teeth first, it's going to straighten everything out, get everything ready to go. The cold shot and the fine teeth are going to kind of Velcro those hairs together. Now the next step is really important. This was some advice from guys that have really experienced beards that have this French fork. We call it the pinch to zoom method. You're going to take your index finger and your thumb and you are literally going to pinch those hairs together. Now however you pinch them, they will stay, and your last steps need to be your hands. Use your hands to form your beard. I cannot say how undervalued your hands are for styling. I love an oxhorn comb. I love a boar's bristle brush. But most of the time, the best finishing style is a little bit of running your hands through your beard and a little bit of padding. Now, that has worked for a lot of guys to kind of hide that French fork or blend it in so it can stay for the day. Of course, at the end, you are more than welcome to add in some balm. You're more than welcome to add in some wax, and that could actually aid and help you out there. But those are some of your options if you have a French fork. Above all, as I always say, rock what you got. My French fork is not extreme. It just thins out a little bit right down in the middle. So I just kind of style to fit the look that I like. So question to leave you guys with, do you have a French fork? Do you not? And the main question is, if you do have a French fork, at what inch length did it begin? Mine really becomes prominent at about 7 inches. If I were to trim at 6.5 inches, you wouldn't see any thinness, you wouldn't see any splitting whatsoever. But when I get to 7, when I get to 8 inches, that's when mine starts to fork. I have buddies whose beards have started to fork at 3 or 4 inches though. So I want to kind of put some numbers and some data together here to see when your beard started forking. And if you have no French fork, let me know the longest your beard has been without the fork. And then we can start to run some different analysis and see where everybody's at and why they're at there. And also leave any comment, any thoughts on French forks. You like it, you dislike it for yourself, you like when others have it, looks cool, Jack Sparrow's was interesting with the braid. Any comments at all about this split beard or French fork? One of my most requested videos, and I hope it helps some of you guys out there. Maybe you're going to be more confident in the style. Maybe you're going to try and get away with it with the new tips here. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Stay bearded and stay positive.